All right. So, as I like to say with these things, as long as everything is working the way that it needs to be working, I am live. So, hello and welcome to anyone and everyone who has made their way over to the channel. My name is Chelsea, better known as CM Lockhart, and I'm here to bring some melanin to your pages. And, whoo, Betty, this is not going to happen today, but accountability. It's amazing. It makes you do things that you weren't necessarily going to do. So, obviously, I'm a little late, but I'm here to write. I'm here to be productive. I was actually up basically all night, not even late last night. Like, I didn't go to bed until like 6 o'clock this morning because I was reading Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl by Joya Goffney. So I was just like, ooh, you know what? I work for myself. I can just sleep late. And then I was like, it's Thursday. I said that I was going to do writing sprints. This is my way of holding myself accountable so that I can actually get my book done when I want to get it done. So, that being said, I'm here. I'm going to do these sprints, whether anyone watches or not, I guess. That's accountability, right? That's what this is for. But that being said, for anyone watching this in the future, now or in the future, I am working on chapter 3 of the sequel to We Are the Origin. I've kind of been going back and forth a lot about if I want to write. If I want to write 2 books, if I want to write 3 books, if I want it to be a longer series, and kind of managing my time basically so that I can write the other stories that I have kind of been sitting on and I know that I want to write. And yeah, there's been a lot going on behind the scenes. But that being said, my goal for today is 1,257 words, mostly because I am not reading every day like I should. So I feel like the word count keeps going up, and I really do need to get a little bit more consistent if I am going to get this book done on time. So, that being said, my goal for today is obviously the 1,200 words. This first sprint, not gonna lie, like I said, I was up late, so I got up like not even an hour ago. So I have my lunch, breakfast, whatever you want to call it. I have food here. So for the first sprint, I am definitely going to like throw that back, and then I'm also trying to get a couple of notes that I have in my phone translated over to my documents and my notebooks that I reference when I'm writing, and kind of go from there. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be sprinting, but the goal is to get things done. So that being said, going to hop into this first sprint. As you guys know, I'd like to do 30-minute sprints. I don't know. I like 30-minute sprints. I feel like that's just enough time to like for me to hit my rhythm and then get a little bit more done before I have to like go back and do check-ins. So that being said, 30-minute sprints. It is 111 here. Oh, if you're that kind of person, make a wish. 111. Um, and we will check back in 30 minutes. I normally have my camera on, but like I said, I'm going to be eating, so I'm going to do camera off this one time. But anyway, if you're writing, happy writing. If you're being productive, I hope you're super productive. And I will check back in with you guys in 30 minutes. So let's do this. All right, you guys. So that is it for the first sprint. If you're watching and you're working, let me know how you did, what you did, so on and so forth. Um, I think I said this, but I I scarfed down my lunch um, because she needed to eat if she was going to be productive. And I have my coffee over here. I have some of these little Pockies that I probably will munch on in the next sprint. But I got that settled and organized, and actually got to get some work in. So I got 242 words that sprint. My goal is around 1,200, probably closer to 1,300 words, actually, for me to stay on track for finishing the book. And I had to kind of get some things organized because I have notes all over the place. And what I'm realizing writing the sequel of We Are the Origin is that I set a lot of things up in the first book. And while I'm really proud of myself for doing that, while I'm drafting, I'm realizing that I kind of need those details. And me being me, I didn't make a story Bible. Like, I know that's like common knowledge. Like, oh my God, you need to make a story Bible. You need to keep up with all the details. But it was one of those things where I was just like, my brain does not switch well between activities. So it's like, oh, if I am writing something and I'm in the like heat of writing it, I am not going to stop what I'm doing to add it to the story Bible, because I'm like, well, what if I don't keep it? And I am notorious for deleting stuff and it not being canon later on. So I was just like, nope. And then I was like, when the book is done, I'll go back and make a story Bible. Well, the problem with that is that I did not do it. So, and I don't see myself doing it. I honestly am just kind of going like back and forth and double checking things, because I don't know, maybe it is the I don't know, early 2000s kid in me, where I'm just like, it's beaten into my brain to like double check my sources and my references, and to go back to multiple sources and just like get it from realistic sources. Not that my own writing isn't, a real source, whatever, I'm babbling. But part of me is just like, I want to go get the actual book and reference it, and I have one on the shelf, but I'm tired and I don't want to get up and get it right now. So, and I also don't want to break my flow so that I can go do research, because that'll turn into a whole separate task. So what I'm doing currently is I am just like highlighting the things in my draft that I'm like, okay, I need to double check these facts. And it's just little stuff like, one of the places they visited was in Karna's domain. And if you guys don't know, I do have a map. It is up on my website. If you guys purchase a book, there's a link in the ebook. And there's a QR code in the book as well to the map or whatever. But I have the map up on my computer, and so I was looking at it and I was like, okay, well, I'm glad that I made one, because I was like, this is something that I can check really easily. Because in case you guys haven't read the book, the domains and stuff in my book are actually like extremely methodical. So like the numbers all have a rhyme and a reason for them. So it's not just like completely made up off the top of the dome. And I like I said, they were referencing it in this scene because while I am in chapter 3, I'm still very much trying to subtly remind people who may be reading it in the future. Obviously, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I'm trying to like weave in little details as like subtle reminders for the reader before I start giving out relevant information, like, oh, remember in the first book that this thing happened. Not anything like super overt, but just like I said, kind of subtle, like, oh yeah, like they were there, oh yeah, this thing did happen. Especially since one of the things that has been on my mind lately is just how do I put this? I know that some people pick up later books in a series. They don't start with the first one. And so one of the things that I would like to aim to do is for the sequel to We Are the Origin to be well written enough that even if you pick it up and you haven't read We Are the Origin, which I don't recommend, but if it happens, people can still read it and enjoy it and then go back to get the full context of book 1 later, if that makes sense. So all of that's like in the back of my mind, and I'm just trying to like make everything go right. But yeah. Let's see here. Cameo said, I'm plotting out the rest of this chapter and trying to hit my daily dabble. Ooh, I like the daily dabble. That's cute. That's cute. I like alliteration. So, what is your daily dabble count? Let me know. if you guys don't know, I am definitely like a Twitter girly. So whenever I hit my word counts, I try to like post it on Twitter because it gives me a nice little dose of serotonin. Like, hit my goal. Look at me. So we'd love to know what your word count is. Like I said, mine is roughly 1,200 words. Which one of the things that I will say that I'm grateful for with this book is that when I started We Are the Origin, I swear that hitting like 500 words was a task. And now I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, 1,200 words. Yeah, I can knock that out. That's a reasonable goal. I don't feel like it gets unreasonable until the word count is like 3 or 4,000 words, and even then, I'm not like it's an impossible goal. I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna have to sit at this computer a lot longer, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the growth as a writer, if that makes sense. The fact that certain word counts no longer intimidate me. But that being said, I do try to go over my word count because I also am that person where I know that for fact tomorrow I probably am not going to be writing because I'm prepping my coaching services to offer, and I am currently working with someone, and I'm like, I have to set time aside to do edits and stuff. And one of the things that I learned the hard way is that I cannot work on my book and other people's book in the same day. My brain gets so caught up in either being editor, marketer, general coach and guide, or it has to be author, writer, creative. It does not switch well in between. So tomorrow I have to set aside time to work on that. So I'm trying to get as much done as I can today. But yeah, I'm pushing my chronic pain fingers as hard as they go with this goal. I'm sorry you have chronic pain, friend. I don't like. I would say I hope it gets better. Like I do hope it gets better for you, but I understand what the word chronic means. So, I hope you're able to meet your goal. So that being said, it is 1:48, 6, 8. I don't know. Glasses. I need new ones. Anyway, 1:48 my time. Um, I am going to hop into another sprint. If you guys would like a 20-minute sprint, let me know. I'm thinking of doing a 20-minute one. Simply because the way my brain is currently set up is it's kind of foggy. It's kind of foggy up here right now. Um, so yeah, breaks may be good for this. Let me know how you guys feel. I'll probably go with the 20-minute unless you guys say for sure that you want a 30-minute. But yeah. Um, that being said, I'm going to start at 50 minutes after the hour. Whatever time zone you're in, that should minutes still work the same. So return 10 minutes after the hour. I think that's the right math. Don't quote me on it. Set a timer. I'm gonna set one on screen. But yeah. And okay, cool. 20 it is. Um and I'm going to try to finish out this scene. The other thing is I'll say this before we get it. Oh, nope. It's time to sprint. I'll remind me to talk about the thing with the story after the sprint. But yeah. Anyway, happy sprinting, you guys. Good luck. All right, you guys, that is it for that sprint. So, if you're working, let me know how you did, what you did, so on, so forth, all that good stuff. Um, for me, let me pull up the calculator. I'm not even gonna pretend to have this math figured out. Let's see here. I got 242, and I'm up to 486. So about 244 words. This chapter is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. Part of that is because I'm like super tired and I did not realize how exhausted I was. I thought I was gonna be able to like push through and do these sprints, but I'm actually like really exhausted. Going to sleep at 6 a.m. after working as hard as I did yesterday was probably not my best idea. But it is what it is. Things are done. We're adults and we account for our actions, right? But also, I don't know, it's interesting because with this particular book, I feel like I've been getting so caught up in like the details and like exposition, and that's really not my style. And so I'm kind of like, who is this? Whose story is this? It does not belong to me. It does not. So I'm like, okay. So like just trying to keep the exposition to like a minimum because I know when I'm reading, like I like details, but also get to the point. Like what's happening? What's happening? What do I need to know? Keep the scene moving. So yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I would probably have to go back and heavily edit this one. But that's okay. This is part of the process. Part of the process. But yeah. Rough sleep schedule. Yeah. So basically, I think you guys know, if you're on the channel, you probably know. But I do a lot of stuff. And yesterday was just like a really long day for me. I worked from like 8 in the morning till about 11 o'clock last night. And then one of the things that I do for when I'm writing is after I finish writing a chapter and I'm happy with it, like my like specific process for writing a chapter is just like, okay, I draft it up, right? That's step one. Step two is I give it at least 24 hours not looking at it, and then I come back to it with fresh eyes and I just kind of like reread through it. It's not a heavy editing pass. It's more so like, do I still like the content? Do I still like what's happening? Do I still like the plot? Yada yada yada. And I make like slight tweaks, just like slight word changes where it's like you put th instead of the and stuff like that. Or if I, transpose characters' names, like if two people are in a scene and I'm like, this person, I type their names wrong, whatever. Light cleanup, right? And then I send it to my husband because he's like my alpha reader, I guess is the best way to explain it. Basically, once I finish writing it, he looks at it to make sure that it's good before I send it out to like my critique partner. Mostly because he reads a lot and he has like a really good grasp of like understanding of story and stuff like that. So he can read through what I've written and just be like a really good he's a really good measuring stick for like, okay, is this actually good or do I need to go back to the drawing board before I send this out to anybody else? So that's kind of my process. And after I did all the stuff that I had to do for like the podcast stuff and like promotion stuff for the book and just general stuff for like the YouTube channel and things like that, in the Melanin library, yada yada yada, I went through and I cleaned up chapter 2 and I sent it to him. And then after he gives me feedback, we usually talk about it. And then by the time all that was done, it was like midnight. And I was like, I haven't done anything that I want to do all day. So I mistakenly picked up Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl by Joy Goffney, thinking, oh, I'm just going to read a couple chapters and I'm going to go sleep. Right? No. There are like 37 chapters in that book. And I was on like chapter 10 and I read the rest of the book last night. So I did not go to sleep until 6 a.m. And I got like a nap, and then I got up and did sprints, and now I'm trying to write with that kind of brain, and it's probably not a good idea, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Not Benjamin being here. I honestly thought he was working, you guys. Well, you're welcome for the praise. Anyway, you knew that already, but If you're watching this in the future, Benjamin Lockhart is my husband. So, yeah. Um, that being said, I am losing steam kind of quick. So, um, I want to ideally get at least 2 more sprints in before I log off for the day. Um, I want to get the scene done, but I don't know. That may be a little bit ambitious at the moment, considering how I'm feeling. But anyway, I hope you guys are being productive. I'm going to stick with the 20-minute sprints. If you guys are good with that. This next one, I am going to get up and stretch. So the camera is going to go off for a little bit while I get up and walk around and get my blood flowing. But that being said, if you guys have no objections, it is 2:16. So 20 minutes from now will be 36 minutes after the hour. So let's go ahead and jump into this next sprint. And happy riding, you guys. Good luck. All right, you guys, that is time for that sprint. So, let me know how you did, what you did, so on and so forth. Um, I am going to whip out my handy dandy calculator so that I can figure this out for myself. So, I had 486 last time. Okay, so I got 253 words that time, so I'm up to 739. So making pretty good progress. At the very least, it is consistent. So I can't be too mad at that. And if you guys are wondering, I always write down how many words I get in each sprint. That way, in the future, when I'm in undoubtedly like, oh my god, I should be able to do more than this, I can be like, well, no, no, we do about 200 words a sprint. That's okay. We're on track. And also so like I can track my progress in like general. Just something to like look back on and be like, oh, this is the progress that I made on this book on this day. I don't know. It's a really weird thing, but it keeps me motivated. So I like to like manually write down in my calendar every time I do sprints, like how many sprints I did and how many words I got for each sprint. It's just a little motivation tactic that I have found works for me. But yeah, um, I am apparently not reading the comments. Cameo got 130 words this time, so awesome! Congratulations! I'm glad that you're making progress. Uh, Closer to your 887 word daily dabble, daily dabble. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Um, I know for this scene, uh, it's so weird because I told you guys that I was having trouble with exposition, and now I'm like, I have all these characters. They're like the main. I won't say the main characters because my book really has two main characters, and that is Brandy and Sarah. And then there are like other important characters, like clutch characters, like necessary characters, but they're not the main character. If that makes sense. But anyway, I have like all the important characters having like a conversation for reasons, and kind of trying to figure out the dynamic of these characters is somewhat amusing because they come from all different like walks of life. They have all different types of backgrounds, and they have all different kind of like pre-established relationships with each other. Some of them are good, some of them are not, and it's just like kind of like high intensity. I don't know. They're kind of amped up at this point, and trying to. I don't know if you guys have ever had a group project and you didn't really know the people you were working with, and you're like, well, we have to come up with the plan and we have to implement the plan, but it's like your last class of the day and you're just like, yo, I just want to go back home and like take a nap, and people are not trying to agree, and you're just like, okay, can we stay focused? Can we stay on topic? That's basically what my characters are going through right now. And trying to like write it out is actually it's a unique challenge, but it's also really fun, and I'm enjoying it. So I also hope other people enjoy it, but we shall see. We shall see. Um, but that being said, it is what 240. So let's go ahead and hop into another sprint because, like I said, I'm running out of steam. I'm trying to get this workout and then go lay down. So that being said, let's do this next sprint. See you guys in 20 minutes. Happy writing. All right, you guys, that's it for that sprint. Let me know how you did, what you did, so on and so forth. I think for me that's probably going to have to be the last sprint. I am so exhausted. I don't know how much more useful I am realistically going to be. I am oh, I am at 842 words. I had 739 last time, so I only got 103 words that sprint. I did go back through and clean up some of the things and add more of the dialogue that I wanted to add between the characters. Um, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I think I may have just stumbled upon the theme that I kind of want to like incorporate throughout the whole second book. So that's also really good. Um, they're just like little things. I'm not a discovery writer per se, but there are certain things that I'm like, I have a very like large idea of what I want to incorporate, but like narrowing it down to incorporate it into a scene can be difficult sometimes. And I feel like I've gotten to a point where it's just like, okay, I think I'm starting to actually see the details of what I'm working with and what I want to do, especially as it comes to the character arc for the main character and the important characters in the book. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Um, that being said, um, I am going to do my best to continue sprinting. So Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to try to be here on the channel, actually writing. Hopefully my time management will be better than it was today so that we can do a little bit more. At least I can get more done. I don't know, that's selfish, but that's why I'm doing this. Accountability. Woo! Anyway, I will go ahead and set up the stream for that today before I log off. So if you guys want to set notifications for that, feel free. Obligatory request. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, that whole thing. Turn on the notifications. I stream on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Melanin Chat, where me and my co-host Audra Russell talk about all things Black and bookish going on in the publishing world and book drama on the various social media sites. And on Thursdays, I do writing sprints. So if that appeals to you, for sure, check it out. And if you want to know more about the behind the scenes stuff of my writing journey, what's going on with We Are the Origin and its sequel and future books, then for sure check out my Patreon and check out my podcast. We are Written in Melanin podcast. I haven't made official announcements for this just yet, but I will have some really amazing authors coming on the show, such as Joya Goffney, Morgan Lee. If you're on YouTube, she has a YouTube channel and she's absolutely amazing. She's going to be on the channel. I'm also going to have Antoine Bandele. He has written the T.J. Young and the Orishas young adult novels, and there are a couple of other people also lined up to be on the podcast. So if you haven't listened to it, I would really appreciate it if you would check it out. And if you like podcasts, go ahead and subscribe. But like I said, it's called Written in Melanin Podcast, and there are links for everything in the description box below. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you to like purchase my book, because that's what we're doing writing sprints for. So if you haven't read We Are the Origin, purchase it. There is an audiobook version that will be coming out December 21st. So if you're into that, save up your money for it. You can also go ahead and pre-order it from my website, and that is writteninmelanin.com. So check it out, get into it. But yeah, that is it, you guys. I am tired, and Cameo pointed out that I have earned a nap. So I'm gonna log off, check out. Thank you guys so much for sprinting with me. I will be back here same time next week, 1 o'clock Thursdays, and that's it. So until next time, you guys, I hope your days are lovely and your books are interesting. Bye.